Okay, let's bring up Mariner Trilling, who's going to do his amazing. Come on, Mariner. Is Mariner in the house? Is he coming up here? Where is he? Is he still in the house?
I am so in the house. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Hello, Mariner.
I am in the house in the audio sense as well as the spiritual sense. But
You're on.
no,
I'll shut up now.
but no, thanks for having me up here, Lauren. What an awesome place. Cookie is my home sim. I used to be a quasi-griefer running the parking lot of the Waterhead Welcome Area, but now I'm here with the arts and community. When I first got to Second Life, I didn't even think about other people and virtual relationships. You know, it was just this big, weird place and explore. You could be anything you want, do whatever you want. But then after the first week, something happened that changed my view of the virtual world. I'm walking around the welcome area. Remember the helmet hair? Lauren, oh man, Lauren was back in the day with me. Lauren, you know, we didn't have voice. We would send written letters to each other. But no, and we had the helmet headed hair and all these newbies stumbling around the welcome area. And through the crowd, I see this beautiful girl, a chick, an actual girl, not another avatar. I mean, like we're used to seeing girls in Second Life now. There's girls everywhere, but it wasn't always that way. There's little Ruths and helmet-headed chicks walking around, but there's this beautiful female avatar like I'd never seen, man. And in those days, 10,000 people online at once was crowded, and I'd never seen such a hot babe. I mean, she had the long flowing hair that moved when she walked, and delicate facial features, fluttering eyelashes, dancing blue eyes. Her digital body was flawless, sexy walk generated by an animation override technology. I didn't even know what that was. And she's wearing this short black miniskirt that kind of moved in the breeze as she walks by. You know, I'm thinking as a typical guy, man, if that breeze just hit that skirt a little right, I'd get the, you know, or if I'd lean over and if I could just look, and I realize I can lean over and look up under her dress.
Can
okay. yeah. And so, and the thing is, I thought, oh man, I invented something here. But no, every guy did. That was the first thing he did when he got Second Life. But under her dress, she had a perfectly shaped, photorealistic butt clad in a tiny lacy thong. I was just blown away, and I stood there staring. This other newbie guy, he looks just like me. Same startup hour. He breaks away from the flock. He goes up to her cautiously, and it's like that scene in Stanley Kubrick's 2001 where the monkey man goes up to the inscrutable, futuristic black monolith, and he reaches out to her, and he says to her, "Will you go dancing with me?" Oh. And this chick says, like, well, she has an animation of indifference, and she looks him up and down and says, I don't do newbie skin. And, oh man, okay. And I started to realize at that moment, I'm a newbie, and I had newbie skin. You know, and she walked away without a look back, and that's one of those lines of text that I'll never forget. And I can imagine this dude getting rejected by women in real life bars. Now he's being rejected by cartoon women. You know, what a sad sack is that? You know, and watching him, I'm thinking, okay, and watching him demolish this dude woke me up to the realization that I'm a newbie. I had newbie skin, and dude, Second Life already is going to be high school all over again. And I didn't even realize the devastating truth. I didn't even have a penis. The fact that these chicks, wow, and the fact that these women exist in Second Life gave me a whole new pursuit. I went to the nude beach, and I had no shame. I was quick to shed my virtual clothes and walk naked with the beautiful naked women, and I was there about 30 seconds, and I was thinking I'm part of the hip scene, and a strange man stops me. He says, hey, and it's in chat. He says, how come you got no cock? I said, what? Like, what? And no, that's another line of text I'm never going to forget. When someone walks up to you in open chat and says, how come you got no cock? I'm like, oh, man. He wasn't talking, who, me? Yeah, why you got no cock? And I stood there with no answer. I looked at all the other guys had cocks, and looking back, you'd think when I took my clothes off my avatar, that would have been the first thing I'd check out. Like, how am I equipped? You know, I'd think I'd check out my junk, but there I am standing on the nude beach with no dick. And, you know, everybody else is all athletic. The guy says, here, you need a cock. Have a cock. And suddenly this object called a cock appears in my inventory. And normally I don't want guys putting their cock into any part of me, but I didn't know what to do with it. But I took a shot. I right-click on it and select where, and it appeared right where it should be instead of my face, my hand, or my back. My first freeness. That's right. And I thought after that there should be warning signs on Orientation Island for the new people. It says, attention men, you have no penis. And then the other sign says, attention women, you have no nipples. And who'd have thought in Second Life you'd have to go find or buy a penis. In World of Warcraft you want weapons like a crossbow or a sword of Goknar. And in Second Life you seek the penis of Excite. And if somebody told me that you would need a penis, if they didn't talk about in Orientation Island, you're moving a beach ball and they're talking how to walk and shit. Nobody said you ain't got no penis. You would have thought that would be something they would tell you. But I would have been right out of orientation. I would have had out those camping chairs where you can earn 2 lindens an hour, just sit there and attract other people to the sim. I'd be sitting there saving up my lindens, saving up for a good penis next to some chick with no nipples. I'd tell her, hey, baby, maybe once I get my penis and you get your nipples, maybe we can go out sometime. But anyway, that's my story of how I got my penis. So I'm putting together, there's my annual showing of Below the Waist where I do a whole half hour about my penis. And then we've also working on a sequel that will be coming out shortly after that. But
You're not gonna do it.
But
now?
I can keep talking about. I could talk about my penis all night long. Now, but
I hung out with those no penis, no nipple having freaks at those camping sites a few years ago. I never thought about all those other people as being freaks like me, but I guess they were. Just saving up to get their first penis.
We gotta get a penis. Well, there's a way to work around.
well, I mean, I could go on. Is Lawrence hasn't brought out the hook or the net?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. No, I've got.
Yeah, there's no.
We're having fun tonight. Go
Okay.
with it.
All right. Well. All right. Okay. Then
I have a
everybody.
gig I'm going to do after you from Think, but we got plenty of time because we don't have.
Oh. Okay. Well. All right. You guys make yourselves comfortable. You're going to hear about my junk, the orientation, the welcome areas. Okay. After a couple of years in Second Life, I went from dickless noob to an anatomically correct avatar, but Second Life changed a lot too. And I know Lauren and Thinker, we've seen the world change. It was the Wild West when we first got here, but you can still, it went from 8,000 people online to 50,000, but you can still go to a welcome area this day and hear an occasional shout over the crowd from a newbie, I want to do sex with someone. And I've heard that shout in 4 or 5 languages, and it's always a guy in a newbie avatar. It's always a guy in a newbie avatar. Well, and I wonder to this day, does he come from somewhere in real life where you just go to a public place and shout for sex? I've been to some parts of Canada. I've traveled. I haven't seen that. Yeah, that's make sex in your pussy. Yep, that's fleshy union's another good one. But where does that go on in real life? People take it for granted that this is not real. This is Second Life. And it always made me feel better about myself that I was never reduced to standing in a crowd shouting for sex. And, nothing makes me feel better about myself than seeing someone else who's way more fucked up than I am. But one time this topless female avatar, topless chick, broad masculine shoulders, oversized muscular arms, just weird, brand new avatar. Just looks like she kind of went crazy on the sliders, get big monkey arms, and just she starts dancing in front of me. I'm just hanging out in the welcome area, and I'm just trying not to look. And then she starts physically bumping and kind of doing this humping thing on me, and still not saying anything. And if I was in the mood to get my leg humped by a stranger, I would at least expect them to say hello. And you're not supposed to be topless in the welcome area. And technically there's no nudity allowed. But since she didn't have any nipples, I guess the Lindens were okay with it. One time this guy stops me in a grassy field behind a welcome area building. Okay, this pavilion. I don't know how many. See, this welcome areas was like the social hub when we first got here. But there were these big pavilions and out grassy field back. And there's this man I run into, and his profile's 2 weeks old. He has this new avatar of a bearded guy in flip-flop sandals with khaki shorts, yellow T-shirt covered by an open white shirt. Now, the old bees here will remember this guy. He's a kind of a creepy, chunky-looking bearded guy in flip-flops, and it was one of the startup avatars they offered you. And you saw this guy a lot. I mean, I always wondered about people who are setting. I didn't know. There were some choices back in those days, but I wondered about people putting together a Second Life account and seeing that avatar and saying, "Yeah, I want to be that creepy, chunky, bearded guy in flip-flop." And so anyway, creepy, chunky, bearded guy in flip-flops comes up to me in a welcome area. And he comes up to me, he says, there's so many nice people here, he told me. I said, well, yeah, you meet all kinds in the welcome areas. You know, and I noticed his glasses, instead of the black frames, he had rhinestone-studded cat's eye frame glasses like a waitress in a 1950s diner. And he looked strange. He says, well, I don't know where the welcome areas are, but this game has a lot of nice people in it. And, you know, he wasn't aware he was in a welcome area. But I have something to tell you, he said, stepping closer to me. You know, when a total stranger comes up and says, I have something to tell you, at best it's like your shoes untied, your zippers down. If a total stranger is about to tell you something about themselves, you know it's going to be weird. Okay, so but this guy comes up and I'm okay, you know, what do you have to tell me? He says, I'm gay. And I stood there, well, yeah, that's okay. I stood there silently trying to think of a way to rebuff what I erroneously perceived to be some kind of a sexual advance. But he repeats it. He says, I'm gay. He says again, he's putting this in chat. You know, we didn't talk. Back then we didn't talk. He's to the chat, I'm gay, I'm gay. And he's shouting it. And he starts doing this prancing animation around me. You know, he's like prancing around this field, and he just prances off into the distance, typing in chat, I'm gay. And I stood there trying to understand how his first Second Life investments would be a pair of women's eyeglasses and a prance animation. And as he disappeared over the green hillside shouting that he was gay, I realized this guy may have searched all his repressed life for a place where he could prance through a field and shout his gayness to the world. And all I could say was, good for you. You know, that was, you know, you meet all kinds. But okay, I'm diverting from the subject of my penis, and I know that's what we're here to hear about. But
Yeah.
as long as we're talking, but as long as we're talking about welcome centers, you know, I used to go to welcome centers and just kind of hang out and help new people, you know, and new people have the same questions. A lot of us had the same questions. You know, new people would come up and ask questions like, "Can I die here?" You know, they come to you in a welcome area. "Hi, I'm new Second Life. Can I die here?" You know, and it's like, well, and I tell them, yes, you can die here. And if your avatar dies while you're online, you die in real life. And there's this hesitation. There's always this hesitation, and they stop for a minute and they say, "No way, no," you know. It's funny because it does make them stop and think. And then I tell them, "Well, didn't you read the terms of service agreement?" Yeah, you better go back and read that sucker. Yeah, no. So. Another question is, how do I get money here? You know, if you meet new people, how do you get money here? Well, I tell them, and this is an alien concept to a lot of people. I tell them it's like real life. You get a job, you make a product. You know, you provide some value to society.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, so that kind of freaks them out. They didn't, you know. This new girl comes to me, her second day in Second Life. She comes up to me in a welcome area, asking how she could earn some money. I mean, think about you're walking around downtown in any big city. Your second day, you're a girl walking around your second day downtown, asking strangers, how do you make money? She comes up to me, and I told her she'd have to get a job. And, you know, what did she want to do? What kind of job did she want to do? And without hesitation, she says, I want to be a stripper. Her second
Good
world,
news.
her second day in world. She goes, this chick has Second Life figured out. She's going to own this place. She says, I want to be a stripper. How do I be a stripper? I want to be a stripper. Well, I tell her, you know, you find a strip club in the search engine, you go apply for a job, you have to audition. Thanks,
Yeah.
she says, and she instantly teleports away. And unfortunately, I didn't have a chance to tell her that her avatar had no nipples and her underwear was painted on her body and wouldn't come off. So I imagine that had to be the shortest audition for stripper in the history of adult entertainment. Anyway, okay, so back to my penis. All right, I'm sorry, I digress. Back to my penis. It was through the kindness of a stranger I had a penis. And I felt pretty good about having a penis. It was 3 prims and modifiable, so I could adjust its size and match the color to my skin tone. And something else I found out, that working on a penis was a quick way to get thrown out of a PG-rated sandbox. Those of you who own property, a lot of you guys may not have been to sandbox. It's a big public area where you can build enabled, where people who don't own land can build things and, you know, work on things. And a lot of times they're like ghettos. This is the virtual war zones. There's a guy next to me building this replicating robot weapon that's going to jump from sim to sim across Second Life and bring down the whole grid. You know, the guy on the other side of me has this scripted object that's texture spamming the sim with horrible pictures of bloody dead bodies, and there's 3 or 4 people behind me having a push gun fight. And the estate manager comes to me. Okay, and all this, the estate manager, hey, what is that? Is that a penis? Get the hell out of here with that. Get out of here before I ban you. And I was new, okay? He scared me. I was new. I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm leaving. I'm taking my penis. Don't tell the Lindens. I'm sorry. You know, it's like, it freaked me out, you know? And it's not like I was naked. I wasn't running around wearing it. It was just laying on the ground. I should have told the dude it was a bratwurst. But anyway, okay, I'll go on. I'll go on for a little bit longer about my penis here, but you know, I never used it. Yeah, a little bit more about my penis. Okay, but I never used it or showed it to anyone. But the knowledge that I had a penis made me a different person. You know, I collected a small wardrobe of freebie wear. I could dress up for the clubs and stand out from the other new people. I had confidence to start conversations with others. You know, exploring Second Life world was still my favorite pastime, but I was learning to build, and I got pretty good at making my avatar do what I wanted. And I'd surf the grid, scanning the map for gatherings of people and drop on, see what's going on there. Some people call it dot chasing. You know, you look at the map, see there's a big group of people, what's going on there. I stumbled into this place called Shemale Gardens. Okay, Shemale Gardens. If you're in Second Life, you know what a shemale is. Okay, now, if you don't know what a shemale is, you don't have the savvy to connect to the internet. If you've been on the internet, you know what shemale. But it was Shemale's Gardens. And it's one of these places, as soon as I start to res, this note card comes up in front of me, rules of Shemale Gardens. And I was in Second Life long enough, I wasn't surprised that there was a place called Shemale Gardens. And the note had all the usual rules: no griefing, no selling, no weapons, no escorting, no drama. But then there was a rule I'd never seen before. It says, no lame cocks. You know, I didn't know what that meant. Okay, the place is rezzing around me. I'm looking at this card. It says, no lame cocks. And, I mean, they weren't talking about my cock. You know, my cock was 3 prims, modifiable. I can make it bigger when I wanted. You know, it's like the card warned that anyone displaying their stupid Q-tip freebie cock would be ejected. And as the place rezzes around me, I'm standing in front of like this billboard, this giant sign that had a picture of my very cock in a red circle with a bar across it, towering over me. It's tough enough in the locker room showers when the other guys start making fun of your private parts, and it's emotionally devastating to have a woman talk bad about your junk, but now there is a whole new gender to crush your self-esteem. But anyway, so how are we doing on time?
Can I just say real quick? You might have a new calling in life, because I think you might have just written the latest erectile dysfunction commercial.
Hey, I got excellent scripting now, let me tell you.
How about 5 more minutes? Go ahead.
No, hey, 5 minutes. Got it. Appreciate you guys letting me spill my secrets here, which have been published in magazines, and yeah, the world knows my secrets. But it does turn out that she-males, it turns out, are experts on cock. And right there in their sim, in the middle of their club, they have a vendor that gives you a really nice free one. You know, and it wasn't scripted or anything. You know, it wasn't scripted or anything. But that's okay, because a lot of sims don't allow you to scripted objects to run. You know, and plus there's stories of scripted cocks that would go crazy after a teleport spray and semen and urine everywhere when it res. You know, so. But so it was okay, but it had nice textures. You know, photorealistic, and I discovered the sex club scene, and I was in countless one-night stands. Meeting women in sex clubs was easy because we were both there for the same things. And it turns out it was even easier to meet men pretending to women in sex clubs, even if you didn't know it. But sometimes we didn't exchange 5 words before jumping in a pile of writhing avatars. But still, there was none of the magic of meeting a beautiful woman in a romantic setting. I wanted the anticipation and sparkling conversation, and eventually discovered the live music scene, began to strike up conversations with the women I met there. I met all manners of ladies and actually started dating some of them. and the emotion, the anticipation of real dating was all there. I would actually shave in real life before a Second Life date, you know, like. But just like the dates in real life, things went wrong. You know, one time I arranged to meet this lady on a beautiful, spectacular mountaintop pinnacle looking over a beautiful valley, and I'm looking out over the vista, and I sent her this teleport invitation, and she materialized right in front of me in the midair over the open valley, and I got one quick glimpse of her before she plummeted 100 feet into the foggy valley below. I was trying to impress another lady with a romantic helicopter ride around the sites of Second Life. I just gotten this freebie helicopter, but the controls were sensitive, and I hadn't quite got the hang of it. The takeoff was nice and mellow, but we started spinning, and the date's typing in chat, "I'm getting dizzy," and so I ended up crashing it down into the trees. We slid down this hill. I tried to fix the helicopter and did it again, and this time it got stuck in a border between sims and found my date rezzed at the bottom of the ocean in some strange region. So, but anyway, but the one, okay, one more date story before I close up here. This woman, especially we had gotten really close. She invites me over to help her set up her new skybox, and it was a prefab skybox with no doors to enter exits, so we had to teleport in or out. While she's on the inside looking for a potential door, I was on the outside, and I'm anxious to show off my Second Life knowledge, so I'd edit in a phantom panel so that we could move in and out through. But I forgot to unlink the component prims of the skybox, and when I created the phantom panel, I caught a glimpse of my date as she fell through the floor and plummeted 200 meters to the ground below. She held the altitude record for my accidental date free falls until very recently, but that's a story you'll hear later on.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate y'all.
Oh, thank you, bravo. So good you came.
I love Cookie. Cookie's my home. The artists here, the artist people, you all guys rock.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad.